So when we are measuring a length, we can use a ruler, we can use a vernier caliper, we can also use a micrometer. When we are using a ruler or a scale, like example, if I want to measure a diameter of a ball by using a ruler or a scale, so how I can determine the diameter of a ball accurately as possible? So it's a spherical object. So what I do, I will place a ruler. I can place a ruler next to this, but because it is not having any edges, so it will be difficult to read the scale right now. So for accuracy, what we can do, we can place two rectangular blocks next to this sphere, and we will measure the length, read the marking. Like example, it starts from, the scale might start, this is 0, then 0.1 and so on. So this is 3, and this one is at 4.4 mark. So what is the diameter of the ball in this example? So what is the diameter of the ball? Diameter of the ball is a distance. This distance is the diameter of the ball. So it is starting at 3 and ending at 4.4. So what is the difference here? Because the scale is not starting from 0, it is starting from 3 and ending at, so it will be 4.4 minus 3, which is equals to 1.4 centimeters. And example, this example, say it was started with 20 centimeter and ending at 25.6 centimeter. What is the diameter here? In the second example, starting at 20 and ending at 25.6 centimeter. So in this case, starting from 20 and ending at 25.6, so it should be 25.6 minus 20 is equals to 5.6 centimeter will be the diameter. And what about the radius? Radius is half of the diameter. Diameter divided by 2. So if the diameter is 5.6, what about the radius? 5.6 divided by 2, that's equal to 2.8 centimeters. So the diameter, it will be 2.8 centimeters. When we are measuring the height, like example, if there is a bench and I'm measuring the height of the bench, or if I'm measuring a vertical height, so I place a ruler next to this, a meter rule or a scale. Meter rule means 1 meter long. An example, this is a bench or a table. So how I can make sure that the scale which I am using is exactly vertical, because this scale might be tilted. So if it is slightly tilted, so we'll not get an accurate result. So how I can make sure that my ruler or a scale is exactly vertical? For that purpose, we use set square. What is a set square? In your geometry box or geometry case, you will find these triangles. The geometry box, a set of apparatus is there. This set of apparatus is called a set square. So by using a set square, we can make sure that the ruler or a scale is exactly vertical, because the angle here is 90 degree or perpendicular. So if I want to make sure that this ruler or scale is exactly vertical, so what I do, I place a set square. If a set square is placed correctly next to this, it means the ruler is exactly vertical. But what will happen, for example, if it is not exactly vertical, then this line, there will be a gap between them, and there are some position where the set square will not come in contact with a scale or a ruler. So using this idea, we can make sure that our ruler or a scale is exactly vertical. Is it clear? The use of the set square. So normally when we are using a ruler, and to make sure our ruler is exactly vertical, we use this set square. Like example, if this was a ground and you place a ruler, this is a ruler or scale. I made it, I'll reduce the angle of tilt. So example, this is a ruler or scale, and I want to make sure it is clearly visible, it is slightly tilted. But if you try to show practically that it is not exactly vertical, so when you place a set square, you will find that there is a gap between the perpendicular part of the set square and the ruler, so it shows that there is angle between them. So if there is angle between the set square and the ruler, it confirms that your ruler or a scale is not exactly vertical. Is it clear, Abdullah Sarfraz? Then if you want to, these are different ways, and most of the things which we are discussing now are related to paper 6. Like normally in paper 6 they ask how you can make sure that the ruler is exactly vertical or a scale is exactly vertical. So you will mention by using a set square. Sometimes they say draw a diagram to explain your idea, so you will draw this diagram. Then how to check the ruler is horizontal? Like if you have any scale or a ruler, if you want to make sure it is exactly horizontal, so what you will do, you will measure the height from both ends. And this technique can be done for, not even for a ruler, this can be done for any apparatus in which we want to make sure that it is exactly horizontal. So how I can make sure it is exactly horizontal? Example, if I say I connect a string or a wire between the two poles, and I want to find whether this wire is exactly horizontal. So from the bench, so how I can identify whether this wire is exactly horizontal? So if this is a ground, so what we do, we place a meter rule or a scale, and we measure the height from both ends. I will measure the height from both ends. Example, this height was 3.4, and this height vertical height basically is 3.4. So if both sides, if the height is same, the vertical height is same, so what we can say, that this object, this wire is exactly horizontal. But what if the heights were not same? Like one side the height was say 3.4, but the other side it was 3.6. So this shows that one side it is slightly higher than the other. So this object is not exactly horizontal. Is it clear? The concept, like how we can check using a scale or a ruler, how we can check that the object is exactly horizontal. So simply measure the height from both ends, and if the heights are same, it means it is exactly horizontal. If heights are not same, it is not horizontal. But when we are using a meter rule or a meter scale, there is the position of an eye which is very important, and we have to look perpendicular. So example, if three students are measuring the length of this glass rod, so a student A, B and C, so which student is measuring it correctly? Student B is doing it correctly. Because when we are measuring any length, any height, we should always look perpendicular. So we should look perpendicular. And why we should look perpendicular? To avoid error known as parallax error. So whenever you're measuring a height, measuring a length, so you should always look perpendicular 90-degree. What is the meaning? You can see how it is perpendicular. If I remove the wrong positions, so how it is perpendicular? Perpendicular, the term perpendicular means 90. So you can see your eye level and the scale are 90-degree to each other. So whenever you're reading a scale, you should always look perpendicular, or the angle between your eye level and the scale, the marking should be 90, so that you can avoid a parallax error. So if I'm measuring the height here, what is the correct position for measuring the height? A, the B, position B, or C. So which is the right position when I'm measuring the height here? So B is the right position, because when you check B, B is exactly 90-degree, or you're looking perpendicular to the scale, which will avoid. So the term which we normally use, we don't say straight, we are looking straight. That's not the term described. You should always mention look perpendicular to the scale. Perpendicular means 90-degree. Like you are looking from here and the scale in this manner. So the angle between the scale and your eye line is 90. So we call that as look perpendicular, to avoid a parallax error. So this is how we normally use a ruler or a scale. Then the second apparatus which we can use, that is called a micrometer. You don't have to learn the labels of the micrometer. The only thing what you have to understand, that how you can read the value from the micrometer, that is an important factor. and practically how it can be used, but you don't have to learn the labels. So the main thing you should know, there are two scales on a micrometer. This is called a main scale, and the second one, which can rotate, is known as a circular scale. And how to read the micrometer, what is the formula for reading of the micrometer? Is equals to main scale reading plus the circular scale reading multiplied by 0.01. This is the formula. So multiplied by 0.01 millimeter. That's the smallest value which a micrometer can record. So you have to learn this formula, which is used to measure the reading of this micrometer. Then how to read a scale, how we can read a scale here. For a main scale, this one is 0, 0.5, the first line is 0.5, all are in millimeter. Then 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. So basically it's like 0.5 millimeter. The smallest value on the main scale is 0.5 millimeter. So what is the main scale reading here? How we work out the main scale reading? The main scale reading is the last point which is visible. So what is the last point on the main scale which is visible to us, or which you can see easily? The last value or the last number on the main scale which is visible to you. So the last number or the last value on the main scale which is visible to us, that is 3.5. So main scale reading is 3.5 millimeter. The upper one you are having its whole number and the values are under. This is this because the smallest value, the scale is designed in a manner, so the smallest value which you can see is 0.5. This is how the scale of a this is the apparatus, so this is how they design the scale. So the last value which is visible to you is 3.5 on the main scale. Plus, what is the circular scale reading? The circular scale reading, the line which is coinciding with the main scale, coinciding means which is coming as one line. So when you see, what is this line? The circular scale is like this. So this is 40, this will be 41. So 41 line is coinciding with this datum line. So we call that as circular scale reading is 41 multiplied by 0.01 millimeter. So when we solve this, first multiplication should be done. So 41 multiplied by 0.01. So this will be 3.5 millimeter plus 41 into 0.01. So it will be 0.41. And 3.5 plus 0.41. So what is the final answer? It will be 3.91 millimeter. So the length of the object which was placed here, that was having a length or a size of 3.91 millimeter. Yes, Abdullah Sarfraz.
Sir, if you are measuring two objects, the circular scale will be always the same.
No, how this the circular scale might change depending on the object which you place. How it will change, as you can see here, this is the animated view of the micrometer. So like example, if I want to measure the thickness of a pencil, so I will close the jaws of these micrometer and I will read the main scale and I will read the circular scale. But for example, if I am placing another object, like instead of placing a pencil, I'm placing another object, say a cardboard. So example, if I'm placing a cardboard or a paper, a bundle, so this will be the object. So the value of the main scale and the value of circular scale will change. So it depends on what object is placed between the jaws. So the same thing, the reading of the main scale and circular scale will change according to the object which is placed between the jaws of this micrometer. Is it clear, Abdullah? Sarfraz?
So sir, this means the circular scale will automatically change.
Automatically change, yes.
Okay, sir.
Yes, Saim?
Sir, I didn't understand the concept of this locking lever.
The purpose of this locking lever, that is to make sure
Yes.
that we can remove the object. Like example, when you lock this, so you can remove the object and the reading will be stored here, like reading will remain on the meter. So even the object is removed, this will lock now, like this will not allow the main scale or circular scale to move. So only purpose of this
Okay.
locking lever is to
And
make sure that the reading of a micrometer, the main scale and the circular scale of a micrometer won't change.
okay, sir. And a thimble.
The thimble is just the part which we of a circular scale which we use to rotate. And why we use this is called a friction screw. Friction screw normally because sometime a student used to rotate the micrometer by holding a thimble. Instead of that, they should use a friction screw, because when the object is between the jaws of the micrometer, when we rotate the friction screw, it will not deform the object. That's the only for safety of the object, that it will not
Okay.
change the reading. So the main thing which you have to understand is how to read a micrometer, how to read the scale of a micrometer. So
Okay.
in this example, the main scale and circular scale were having this reading. But say if I change the numbers are not written on the main scale, but you can see the
Yes.
numbers on the circular scale. Say this was 15, 20 was there. So how we read this scale, the formula for reading a micrometer. So it is main scale plus circular scale times 0.01. What is the
Yes,
main
sir.
what is the main scale reading?
50.
What is the main scale reading? This is the main scale. And this one is a circular. My question is, what is the main scale reading? The main scale reading is the last point which is visible. So this one is 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. So 3 is the last point which is visible. So the main scale reading is 3 millimeter. Plus, what about the circular scale reading? So the circular scale reading is 15. So the circular scale reading we'll write as 15 multiplied by 0.01 millimeter. Now, first, according to mathematics, first there should be multiplication, then addition. So first I should multiply these two numbers. So 15 multiplied by 0.01, that is 3 plus 0.15. And when I add this, so 3.15 millimeter is our answer. Is it clear how to read a micrometer? Yes, Abdullah, Sarfraz.
Sir, but you haven't drawn a line to show like how long is the object.
Yeah, because sometime they give, instead of giving the whole apparatus, instead of giving the whole micrometer, they only take a part, like they give you the main scale and circular scale and ask that what is the reading. So if they ask what is the reading, then this is how you will determine. So this is a
And
part of a micrometer, part from the taken from the micrometer.
so it should be 3.5 because after 3.
Yeah, after 3, that's my point. But the main scale reading is always the line which is visible, because I cannot see 3.5, so it means it cannot be 3.5. It is more than 3 and less than 3.5. So it is between them. You got it?
Okay, sir.
You're not clear how you measure a micrometer? No, you don't measure a micrometer. This is a formula which we use to calculate the reading of the micrometer on the micrometer. So the formula is the main scale. This is called a main scale. Main scale means the last point which is visible to you. The main scale reading is the last point which is visible. And the circular scale reading is the point which matches with main scale line. So you can see the point, the last point which is visible to us, that is 3. That's why we say main scale reading is 3. And the circular scale, the point which matches with the main scale line, that is 15. So that's why I use 15. So 15 into 0.01 plus 3, that will give us the final reading. Is it clear, Saim Ahmed? So if whole micrometer is given, so practically how we use, we place the object, then we close this circular scale. When the object is fixed, we close this locking lever and read the main scale and circular scale value. Like if a question is what is the reading in this example, what is the reading on the micrometer? So reading on the micrometer is equals to main scale plus the circular scale multiplied by 0.01 millimeter. This is a simple formula you will use whenever you are using a micrometer. Main scale, what is the last point which is visible on the main scale? What is the reading of the main scale? So for this is 0.51, 1.52, 2.53, 3.54, 4.55, and 5.5 is the one which I can see. So main scale reading is 5.5. What about the circular scale reading? So circular scale reading, this is 30, here is 30 and 35. So after 30, there will be 31 and then 32. So this line is actually 32. So this will be 32. Multiplied by 0.01 millimeter. So when we multiply first, so it will come out as 5.5 plus 0.32 millimeter, and we'll add them, so it will be 5.82 millimeter. That will be the length of the object which was placed between the jaws of this micrometer. Is it clear? The reading on the micrometer, how we use it? Then again, there is an error in a micrometer because we use our eyes to read the scale. So whenever we are reading a micrometer, we should always look perpendicular. But how to look a perpendicular? Like if I'm reading a main scale, so I should look perpendicular like this. If I'm reading a circular scale, so I should look perpendicular from this point. So both cases, because this is a main scale, so we are looking perpendicular. This one is a circular scale, we are looking perpendicular. So there is also an error in a micrometer which we call parallax error due to the wrong position of the eye. So in a micrometer, when we are using a micrometer, our reading may have error due to two reasons. Number one, the wrong position of eye, or parallax error. And number two, zero error. I will explain zero error of micrometer. So when we are using a micrometer, we may have two errors. One is a parallax error. What is the meaning of parallax error? Like when you are using your micrometer, your eye level was not at correct position. So if you are not reading it from a correct level or position, you might have an error. Like if I'm reading a main scale, but I'm reading from this position, so that will not be correct. So if that is not correct, means I will have a parallax error due to wrong position of eye. But what about the zero error? What is the meaning of a zero error? Zero error means when we completely close the jaws of the micrometer, the main scale, when the micrometer, nothing is placed between the micrometer, and we completely close the micrometer, then how it should appear? It should appear like this, that the zero of the main scale and the zero of the circular scale are in line. So 0 of the main scale should come in line with 0 of the circular scale. This we call that there is no zero error here. But normally, because when we are using the apparatus, the micrometer might have a deformation, or the screw, as we are using it for different purpose. So due to the deformation or due to the change in the size of the jaws, the zero of the main scale might not coincide with the zero of the circular scale. If that is a condition when the micrometer is completely closed, so what we call this, we call that this is having a zero error. Means there is some value on the micrometer when nothing is placed. We are not using a micrometer, we just completely close the micrometer, so it should show a zero reading. But in practical, what happens, some of the micrometer have a deformation of the jaws, and that may leads to a zero error. So what could be a two reasons why we may not have an accurate reading of, by using a micrometer? One is the parallax error when we are reading the value, or there might be a zero error in our on our micrometer. Is it clear, the concept? Yes, Saim Ahmed.
Sir, I just have it in the second error of micrometer.
Second error, which means the zero error. Like
Yeah.
example, when you completely close your micrometer, when you completely close this micrometer, in this example we are not completely closing, but for example, if we completely close this
Yes.
and nothing is placed between the jaws, like the two jaws are in contact with each other and there is no object placed,
Okay.
so how it should look like the scale, that the zero of the main scale, when it is completely closed, the zero of the main scale and circular scale should inline. It shows that there is nothing placed between the micrometer jaws. But
Okay.
in practical it does not happen, because some of the micrometer might deform, so this zero might not be inline, and we call this error as a zero error.
Zero error. Okay, sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
Abdullah Sarfraz. Yes, Abdullah.
No, sir, I understand. Sorry, sir. Like, if it's not meeting to 0, 0,
Hmm.
it means like the micrometer is not working correctly.
Yeah, micrometer is having some value, or your final result will not be accurate.
Means this is not our mistake.
Yeah, this is not our mistake. Our mistake is a parallax error, that is the wrong position of the eye. But if there is an error in the micrometer, we call that as a zero error.
Okay, sir.
So today we discuss the introduction of the syllabus and how we can use the ruler, meter rule or a scale, as well as the micrometer. Any question related to the class today? As less than a minute left, so session will end by itself. Any question or a doubt? Uh, Tomorrow we'll do questions related to what we have discussed today.